if you're watching. I'm Julia Keller. I'm the author of this book, Attract Authentic Love, and the creator of the Attract Authentic Love series. And I go around and talk to people about how to change their life, how to attract love. And the first part of my book is all about self-care, really. It's all about how the first bit of attracting the love that you want, creating the life that you want, starts with looking after yourself and making yourself the person that you want to be. And what I found was a lot of my clients, when they came to me, one of the things that was stopping them was really that first bit where they weren't happy with the way they looked. Maybe they felt like they were overweight, or maybe their skin wasn't good, or their hair wasn't good, or they just didn't have the energy. They just weren't, something was just like wrong where they weren't feeling good in themselves. And as it happened, while we do this work, sometimes interesting things happen because there are parallels in our own lives. And I don't know if you guys know, but this is Stefani.
Hello.
And Stefani helps me loads. Stefani does all of my events, pretty much the majority of my events that I go to. Stefani's there helping me and making sure everything gets done. So Stefani happens to be there the whole step of the way. And as it happened, lots of parallels happened. Because even before, how I got into looking at this whole bit of nutrition, which I'm into now, and studying very hard for my nutrition exam. But anyway, how I got into this whole interest of looking into nutrition started out with what me and Stefani both basically were going through at the same time. And both of us had a skin issue that came up. Mine was eczema, and Stefani's was actually diagnosed as psoriasis, interestingly enough. And as it happened, both of us had to, like at the time, I don't know if you guys know, but at some point around me writing the book, you know, Stefani was there a lot of the steps of the way, kind of with the book and seeing what happened and listening, learning from the stuff that I was doing. And Stefani herself ended up meeting someone amazing. Yeah. More than once actually. Yeah. So yeah. And at the same time, the same thing here. When all this nutrition stuff was happening, all this stuff was happening with my skin, and we were both trying to figure out what to do. I was at the same time looking into nutrition for my clients because I was studying about weight management. And I realized that a lot of this stuff actually was good for myself to help me heal my skin problems. Yeah. And the same thing with Stefani. And so Stefani had this issue, and I had somehow discovered this book. And I talked about this book before, Radiant by Hannah Silito. I do not know Hannah. She has not paid me to do this ad, by the way. Hannah, you should, though, because I'm so your biggest advocate. So anyway, I read this book because I saw an article about this book, and I decided to do this diet that was in here. And Hannah happens to herself, she writes in the book how she suffered from eczema, psoriasis, really bad acne, and how she cured everything by doing this cleansing diet that she has in here. So the way the diet is, it's an anti-inflammatory diet, and you start out with a 30-day cleanse. And I did this. And then afterwards, I actually bought the book for Stefani
as a Christmas gift.
Yeah. And Stefani did this. And why we're here, like you guys hear my story all the time, but I want you to hear Stefani's story. This is a long-winded way to get there. Stefani's story about how what happened to her from reading this book.
Yeah.
Because I saw the transformation. It's amazing.
Yeah, everything started one day at night that I started like I felt so itchy. I started like scratching. It was so weird. Suddenly the next day, that morning, some red spots appeared on my skin. So I didn't know what was it. I went to the GP, and the GP told me like you need these creams, but that creams had steroids.
Steroids, which is what the GP always gives to start with.
Yes.
They always give you steroids.
And I already knew that steroids are not good at all. So I just meant to talk to you at that point, and you said like, oh, I have this book, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. So I start the diet I did it for 2 months, more or less. Yes, 2 months.
You did the 30-day cleanse, kind of the thing that she did.
Yes, at the beginning.
Tell us about the cleanse. How does it start?
So having a lot of water, drinking a lot of water. And you have to drink like green juices in the morning, afternoon, and evening. But to be honest, it was very tough for me because I was like hungry.
Yeah, I actually found that too. I did find just juicing for 3 days was really tough.
Yes, exactly.
I felt like I wanted to eat something.
So what I did, it was like only having the green juice in the morning and evening, and having a very healthy and green lunch.
So you ate salad basically. Yeah. You were still not. So just to let you know what her diet is. It's not Hannah invented this diet. She didn't. It's the anti-inflammatory diet. So it's the diet that people use when people have cancer, when they have any kind of autoimmune like Crohn's, colitis, whatever. My sister uses that diet often with her patients. She's a naturopathic doctor who works with Crohn's patients and colitis patients and sorts of things in America. I've known a lot of cancer survivors that use the same diet but on a stricter version of it to get rid of their cancer. So it's a diet that's known for helping your body deal with inflammation, which obviously heart disease, cancer, even obesity to it, all these things are inflammation. So that's why it works so well. And what the anti-inflammatory diet is, it's basically strengthening as much as you can, like eating more alkaline boosting foods and lowering the acid boosting foods. Yeah. So you cut out that bad things like smoking, drinking too much, cut out caffeine, you cut out what else do you cut out?
Alcohol.
Alcohol, yeah. You cut out the nightshade foods. Yes. Which are potatoes, tomatoes,
strawberries,
potatoes, tomatoes, aubergine, and peppers. And then also in addition to those foods, there's also orange, strawberries. She even says goji berries.
No, only strawberries and orange.
Strawberries and orange, yeah. So you cut that out as well. And then you also cut out gluten and dairy.
Yeah.
So it's tough. Oh, and sugar. And any kind of junk food. No processed food at all.
No. And everything is about like how eating is good for you, like can heal you actually. Yeah. One thing that I forgot to say, every day after taking shower, I was putting oil in the whole body. Yeah. My whole body was full of
just natural oil.
Yeah.
I still do that, by the way. I still put oils every night.
I use coconut oil or flaxseed oil.
Really good.
So really, really good. Really, really good. Like usually people were like, "Oh, your skin looks different." Of course, it's hydrated, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And so of course I lost kilos, like 5, 6 more or less.
Wow.
In 2 months.
That's amazing.
Just eating healthy.
Yeah.
And my skin looked better and I felt more active. And one thing that I considered that was very important was that my short memory was so good.
Yeah, so you felt better.
Yeah,
you looked better. You lost weight.
And I got rid of the psoriasis.
Got rid of the psoriasis. It hasn't stayed away.
Yes. 100%.
Amazing. Like sometimes you do have to change your diet to get what you want. And why I made this point with Stefani is because Stefani had some really great things happen when she did this diet for her skin. But like I have a lot of clients that come to me with weight issues and they dream of being, that gorgeous, slim person that they imagine themselves being. But sometimes their habits and their being unhappy takes them, or being lonely, it's constantly working against them, so that they have struggled so much to cut out the things that are bad for them and that they know is bad for them. And because it's actually they self-sabotage themselves from reaching the goal they want. Your body's your temple. It's not here for just tomorrow. If you survive 10 years from now, how do you want your body to feel? Do you want to be living in a body that treats you well, that's good, that's comfortable, that looks good? Or do you want to be living in a body that's all falling apart? I mean, it's your choice. But I highly recommend doing what you can to look after yourself now. Because you have today, you have tomorrow, but you also have 10 years from now, 20 years from now. And that's when it really matters. The damage that we do today will show up in 10 years. If you start quickly and you really get into it and you say I want to be this healthier, fitter, better looking person, it will happen as long as you really, really invest in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And cigarettes have to go, guys. Done. I'm sorry.